Welcome back to Pondering, another episode of Pondering where we ponder your questions. Today is a very special day. We're
It
doing
is.
a Valentine's Day special, and with me, I'm Ben Young, and with me is my co-host.
Tyler Netfield.
And today we were talking about Valentine's Day. We were able to acquire many testimonies from people that are
Yeah.
dating other people, and so we have that to share with you guys.
We actually didn't really think of this episode until today. It is currently 9:46 p.m. on February 13th. As you listen to this, it will be Thursday. Valentine's Day will have passed already, but we kind of had the idea last week of giving something to you guys, the viewers, as Valentine's Day episode where we talk about relationships or do some interviews. So what we did before this, like Ben mentioned, is I called up some people that I knew that were in relationships, and we asked them these three questions, which we'll list in a minute. And I would say, do you want your name to be mentioned, or would you choose to be anonymous? So some of these will be anonymous. Some of these will be mentioned and name dropped. But either way, Ben, would you like to go over the three questions that we asked?
So we asked out of, I think it was like 12 or 11 people,
Yeah.
we asked, why do you love that person that you're with, what their favorite memory is, and then when did you know you love them? So getting into it, this first person that we called probably at like 8 or 7 o'clock, and now it has been two
Yes. Chose
hours.
to be anonymous
Just being honest, but he said that
for the first question.
I asked why did he love her, and he said, we just kind of click, and she's very respectful and of my feelings, and I enjoy my time with her. I guess I didn't put her, and so it was a simple answer. And
But I think as we get into this episode, I think we can kind of reflect on a lot of these things. A lot of people use the word click,
mhm.
and I think we'll see that. And honestly, I think at the end we can kind of do a summary of like what these common answers tend to be.
Yeah, a lot of people, there's some commonality between some of the answers.
Hmm.
And then so you said, what was your favorite moment with this person? He says, after prom, we parked the car. Oh, just some of these are very romantic. Some of them are very
Yes.
movie-like.
A discretion to the viewers. Please note that if you are not in a relationship, good luck listening to this because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through.
Yeah, that being said, though, yeah, that being
Yeah,
said, uh, he said after prom, we parked the car and we just put on some jazz music and we slow danced.
that's, I mean, we'll actually see a little bit more dancing,
Like,
but
wow. And
yeah,
then I asked, when did you know you love them? And he said, it was a few months in and it was raining and we kind of, and we were running in the rain and, we caught the feelings. We ran into each other and we were holding each other. And he said things got tragic.
yeah, things
Yeah.
got, so I think that was like, I don't know, it felt very movie-like the way he described it. He was like, but here's the thing with that. He said that he didn't say it in that moment. He just felt it. He was like, "Yeah, I love her," but he didn't say anything.
He said that he regrets it. He says that he had told us that he wished that
Yeah, yeah.
he had.
The best thing about doing these interviews right before we record is that every conversation is pretty fresh in our mind, so that's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
It's nice. And
Then the last person we actually interviewed was his
his girlfriend.
girlfriend. Again,
Yeah.
chose to be remain anonymous. Do you want me to do? Yeah, I'll do this. So she said that why does she love him? I'm afraid I'm going to use their actual names for some of them. He is like the perfect gentleman, treats her like her dad does, which when you think about that, kind of catches you off guard for a second, right?
When I remember when she told me, she said that, I just started laughing. I was like, huh, huh,
Yeah, she was like, listen,
what?
listen. Um, and then she prefaced it that treats her like her dad does and makes her feel like a princess,
I
which
thought that was funny.
I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? That's really nice. Opens her door, knows what she needs and wants without her having to tell him, and always just gets her. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, that's
But
a
I think, yeah,
commonality between
yeah.
a lot of the answers.
Favorite memory. This is what he called. So can't say her name, obviously, but what she talked about was that this special day. It was right before he left for school, and she called it her name day. So just
Wow,
if you saw
you're
the video, I
wow.
just waved my hand in front of my
You yeah.
face. Um, and what they did was they made pancakes. They tasted terrible because neither of them were very good at making pancakes. They did a little Chipotle picnic because Chipotle is their thing. Then they ended up swimming in a river together. They went mini golfing, and then they ate Ben and Jerry's and snuggled on the couch and watched a movie together. I don't know what movie. I guess we should have asked.
I guess we should have
Yeah,
asked.
maybe we'll find out eventually. Um, and before here's the other option she gave. Before they knew each other, um, their moms made them drive together because she needed to get to basketball and couldn't drive at the time. So she really didn't want to go in the car with him because she wasn't really tight with him. And he ended up playing like rock music in the car. And she was like, "Oh, this is stuff my dad listens to." And she was like, "Maybe he's not, just a guy who listens to rap or whatever."
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how they really started talking. And they just kind of, once again, there it is, clicked. And there was a moment that he caught her like looking at him. And yeah. And the last question, she says, the question is, when did you know that you loved him? She said she could just feel the click when he drove me. There's that word click again. Um, the first date, she could tell she was falling for him pretty hard, and she made up this thing because she didn't want to say she loved him first. So what did she say? Love with a U?
No, it's lub
Oh,
with the
love.
B.
I thought it was with the V.
Love. No, because if it was a
Love. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
if it
yeah.
was a U, then it
Oh,
would
you're so
still be
right.
love.
Yeah, so love. And one day she was sitting on the couch with him and said love instead of lub and slipped up, and he just ignored it and went along with it like he knew. And um she said she thinks the first time they both said it like knowingly. It was raining, they were standing like on her porch, which is very nice.
The
Um
rain comes in a lot.
yeah, but there's that. That was probably one of the lengthiest ones we had, which
Yeah,
good way to start out very
that
strong.
was our first couple,
Yeah, that was
and
our first couple.
now we have now we have Bob.
Bob.
We have
Bob's been
Bob.
mentioned on the podcast before. Actually, no, he said he didn't care if we used his name. Um, Everybody get ready, reveal, reveal.
I,
Bob is Logan. Yeah, Logan goes to school with us. He is currently in the Swanson School of Engineering, and we got to have him on the podcast sometime. He's a very educated,
he
wise speaking
he
man.
sounds very educated. He seems like a person I would like to talk to. But
Yeah.
when I asked him when we called him, so he said that his girlfriend is someone that is there from when he has problems,
Hmm.
and that she always cares for him, makes him feel happy. He's very committed. And he said, I think that comes up a little bit, a couple of times. Is he said that they were friends their whole life before,
Yeah, he did
which is
mention that.
it's a very strong foundation.
Which yeah, we do talk about later in the episode about being friends before you're dating, but
Yeah, and then when I asked what his favorite memory was, he said he came home from college. He was having a hard week and he went out to eat, and it was raining on the way. And on the way back, way back to his house, they stopped and I guess they walked outside and they were dancing in the rain.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's very La La Land.
that is very La La Land. And so, for the final question, he said that they weren't even dating at that point yet. but they were on and off, and they were young, and he had strong feelings, but for forever, I guess. But whenever um, he was overwhelmed with love on their first date, and they parked in their high school parking lot, and they just talked for hours, is what he said. Yeah. And so that was Logan's testimony, what he had to say when we called him. But
Yes.
I guess did we? I don't remember if we asked.
Wes, yes, Wes said he was comfortable.
Wes gave some very interesting answers, very funny answers, in my opinion.
Yes, so Wes also goes to school with us, also in the Swanson School of Engineering. And he said very short answers, but honestly, it does get to the point. About his girlfriend. She's nice and stuff, and is always there for me. Um, True. Very true.
Um, I don't know. He just seemed kind of like not flustered, but his answers were straight to the point. But it was I don't know. It was funny what he said.
Yeah. Second question about favorite memory. Going on vacation with her, and they went to Rehoboth Beach, which I really enjoy Rehoboth Beach, and it's very nice because it's not like Ocean City, Maryland. You're not getting the hustle and bustle. It's very relaxing, but also like you can go to the boardwalk and just chill.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times when I was younger. It was
Oh,
nice.
really? I didn't know.
Only when I was younger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And last question, when did you know you loved her? She said probably about 3 weeks into dating. She showed that she just really cared about him,
Hmm.
and I think that's when he finally, or that's what he, at least he says that he finally realized, like, oh, I think she loves me too.
Yeah.
Which I think that is definitely something to elaborate on that with where it's like you like of course like when you know you love somebody you know, but you also have that feeling where you're like if you're like oh I don't know if they love me back, but like when you know you're like oh wait I they definitely do.
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't really speak on that because I've never really
You
had that. I mean I've had that but like not had that
I think that you love them in the moment, but it wasn't like
built to last.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, this episode's this is tough for me.
It's okay, Tyler. Anyway, so this
They this next couple chose to be anonymous.
yeah, so I believe this was like the third person we called or something. It was very like up
We'll
there.
call. Actually, no, I don't want to say that because
Well,
people
what?
know.
Uh anyway,
Yeah,
I asked her. They have been dating for 4 months, so not too long. I asked her why she loved him. She said, "I have never clicked with anyone the way I have clicked with him." I almost said his name. And to have him gone in my life, a part of me would be missing. His smile, his laugh, his humor, his kindness in general, dedication, maturity. Good. He's a good listener. He's a man of faith.
there's that word clicked again though.
Yeah.
We hear it so much.
And then asked her what's her favorite moment with him, and she said 2 weeks ago we went to a car ride and it was sunset, and we were blasting music and it was one of the most euphoric moments ever.
And honestly, like
Wow.
I think most viewers, honestly, listeners, I think you can agree that there's at least one time in your life you've driven summer, windows down, jamming.
Jamming?
Yeah. Like just
I
music.
was about to say a joke that would definitely get it E-rated, but I know you won't like it, so I didn't.
Well, you know,
I do, yeah, I do have
Valentine's Day, we got to keep it. We got to keep it
lovingly.
lovingly.
Yeah, I could definitely think of a time when I was driving.
Yeah,
Driving in the car is just, it's different,
it
man.
does hit different. I agree with that.
Anyway, she said a couple months into what? Couple months and 2.5 months in. Oh, what does it say? Wait till you. I guess you waited till like she actually meant it to say it, but one time he was interacting with her sister, and it was just so it was meaningful to her because he put a lot of emphasis into meeting her sisters, and he treated her sisters like real people and not like just little kids that didn't know any better than him. And yeah, that was it.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
I feel like I get that a lot. I am a big kids person where like I really like I've never been in a situation yet where my significant other had younger siblings, but I really enjoy that like aspect of like being friends with their family. I'm a big family person, and I think
Hmm.
getting to know their siblings and like that's a big part. But
Yeah.
um yeah. So actually right now I texted the first couple we talked about. We talked about how they watched a movie on the one last day before the guy had to move to
Hmm.
college,
Hmm.
and I asked what movie it was because we didn't have a movie name, and she said she thinks it's called Stronger, which I think is the one about a marathon runner and had his legs amputated.
Mm, I see.
So yeah, so she searched it up, and that's the movie. So Stronger, she's not 100% sure, but that's that. So now you know what movie they watched,
Go
if that
watch that
really.
movie.
Everybody go watch Stronger. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
good movie.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah. Sorry about the side. Now, we'll go on to this girl's boyfriend, who we're going to call.
we're gonna call him. Well, I
No, no, call him that. Yeah,
well, so
this was his original like birth given name.
yeah, his name's Lucas, or it was Lucas at one point. I thought our other nickname for him was funny, but I think that you
It
guys
would
would have
give it
gotten it.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would give it. Well,
yeah,
honestly, what we're gonna talk about with him, it might give. If you know me, you're probably gonna figure this out.
yeah. I guess
But
that's true. Yeah.
anyways, go ahead, Ben.
So he said it boils down to, and it basically boils down to, and how it started. It starts as a friendship. And he said it started as a friendship first, and then it started like that, and from there it started to become a deeper friendship, and they just started dating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I mentioned before we talk about friendships later, and this is where it comes up again, where it's like deeply rooted in friendships, and I really believe that
yeah,
I think you do need to know the person. It's hard because like I've met so many people in college, but sometimes I think about it and I'm like, it's so hard to explain your life story to somebody that hasn't known you.
yeah,
Like Ben and we've known each other since kindergarten.
yeah.
So you think um this is our 14th year of knowing each other essentially, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I wouldn't really need to like Ben has been through my life. He's
Yes.
seen so much of my life that I don't really need to describe it because like when I describe things about my life, I don't
I
know if
was
you feel
there.
like
No,
this.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
Ben was
there.
there. Like sometimes you sound a little bit crazy. Like I don't know, that's
What,
me personally.
what do you mean by crate? Like, what do you mean
It's
by?
like, oh, like maybe like, oh, I've had like four ex-girlfriends, but like to the to the outside viewer, they might be
Yeah,
like, wow.
that's
But like I don't know when Ben is somebody who's like
it's
seen it
just
through,
facts. I don't know. To
it
me, it's
just
just like
yeah.
it's just
It
part of my life now. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, continue. Sorry, that was a
No,
little bit of
I
a
get what you
side.
mean.
Yeah.
And then so I asked what his favorite memory of was his with his girlfriend. I just whenever I took the Mamma Mia pictures, and that was the first time I saw her, and it was the first time I wanted to be with her,
Yeah,
which seemed
so
very touching.
a little bit of context behind this. His girlfriend was in Mamma Mia, which I was in that production my junior year, and for that it was I guess like spring of junior year, and he is a photographer.
Hmm.
He really enjoys that, and for the musical he came and he took pictures on
He
a
what?
rehearsal night. And yeah, he took pictures, and the time they didn't know each other really. I think they knew who each other
Yeah,
were, but
yeah.
he took this really incredible, stunning picture of her that I wish I could show on here because it is a breathtaking photo. I think you know the one I'm talking about, right?
I am currently looking at it in my head.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is. I it's an amazing photo. It looks right out of a movie. It's her like dancing on top of a rehearsal block. Like her hair's all it's perfect. It's a really perfect photo. And that in his mind, like I totally get that he has that in his mind because it that was significant. Okay, you can go with the last one. Sorry.
So the last question he answered, he said that there wasn't a specific moment in time, but rather it gradually grew more lovingly as their friendship grew. So it was kind of like it was kind of went hand in hand.
Yeah, once
Yeah.
again that friendship aspect comes up.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. No, it's
Oh, here we go. Okay, now we can also release their names. We actually had her on the podcast, Miss Julia Lauder. Um, Miss Julia Lauder, if you listen to that episode, you learned that her and her boyfriend, I think she talked about it, her and her boyfriend Aiden, they've been together for 4 years. That's a lot.
that
We're
is.
getting to the point now in these things where it is years. And
Yes.
we're this is there's
Yes.
two more after this and they're all year relationships, over
Hmm.
a year, over 2 years actually. So they've been together for 4 years. Um and her answer to the first question is we what does that say? We
Uh, met.
Met. I think it's supposed to be Matt.
We,
Ben
yeah,
has been described through all these
yeah.
phone
We
calls,
met
so
and became
appreciation
friends.
for Ben being
Thank you.
described. Um, so they met and became friends, and she's never met someone that understands her the way that Aiden does and did. Never runs out of empathy, and no matter what, they can always talk about something, that he's always so attentive and caring to. Um, I think that's a great
It's a
answer.
solid answer.
Um, so the answer to the second question about memory is 3 years ago, Aiden took Julia paddleboarding, and there was this amazing sunset. She said it's one of the most amazing sunsets she's ever seen, and they essentially just hung around the beach and the water all day, and it was the most beautiful day, which I think that's also important to mention that a lot of these memories we've talked about from other people, they were often like specific times of like
Yeah.
dancing in the rain or doing this, but
Hmm.
this memory is a very outside memory, a very in touch with nature
Yeah, yeah.
memory. Um, yeah, so I think that's important, especially because you're a big travel person. You're a very big
Yes.
outside person.
I do like to
Yeah.
travel.
Um, Lastly, 2 months into dating, they said they loved each other. This was pre-pandemic, actually. Um, and what made her kind of realize that she loved him? Freshman year English class, doodles, and she was showing him, and they were just like looking into each other's eyes, and it was juvenile, but it was amazing. So.
Yeah, she said that they were on the ground and they were kind of just like she was showing her English class doodles and she
Yeah,
was just
which
staring at each other.
it kind of makes you think like all these relationships, like obviously they start somewhere, but like freshman year, like just sitting in English class, you like it sounds very cliche, but like that's really how some of these things start. Yeah.
Yeah. So for this one, we called Gage.
Yes,
Gage
Gage,
and
he
his
was on the
girlfriend.
podcast back in December. If you listen to that, academic validation. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to it right now on Spotify.
Should be like we'll link it right
If
there.
you're watching this on
Or like
YouTube.
or like right you gotta reach that
Okay, well, I don't think
oven.
I don't think we can link it on YouTube because we didn't upload that. But go follow our Spotify
That's
link if you're
true.
listening on YouTube because we do now have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
go ahead. Yeah.
so Gage said that she's someone that mirrors me, which I thought was really funny. and she's gorgeous and she's funny,
Which,
short and
yeah, I
sweet.
think
Yeah,
mirrors him is an interesting way to put it.
I'm be so for real. I more often than not, he tells me stories about how
Okay,
it's
that's a bit.
seemingly no, well, it seemingly
I think
they
I think they just disagree in
yeah,
some
they disagree,
aspects.
but the thing is, I think it's funny because he more often than not he tells me these stories, so therefore my perception is skewed. But
Yeah. But I
they're really
think
good
I
for each
think
other.
he probably meant mirror in the way of like affection and
Yeah.
like talking to some because like I don't know, like I feel like Ben and I like we can yap for a good while, but like if we just didn't like mirror each other in a way of where it was like energy, like
Mhm.
mirroring energy,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be doing this podcast right now. So
Yeah.
I think he means mirror probably in the way of like affection and talking to and
Yeah.
yeah.
And then so I asked second question, which is, what is your favorite memory with his girlfriend? And Gage told me that I remember this day because I was actually with him. Gage said that it was his second date with her when whenever he kissed her. So they were I went to some college campus with Gage and his girlfriend, and we were using their athletic field. And I remember Gage told me I had to leave because he had something special planned, and they went to Sonic, in this plaza, and that's I guess that was his. Oh no, that was his first date and kiss. It was April 2nd, not his
Yeah.
second date. Yeah, and then I was there. And I asked him like when he found out he loved her, he said it was a gradual thing. So like after a few weeks of dating, he like was just like, I love her,
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then
Next, we called his girlfriend,
girlfriend,
Kayla.
yeah, do you want to do this or
You go ahead, do it.
that he always makes me laugh. He always makes me feel better, which again I thought was funny. But he said what she said whenever I'm having a bad day, it makes me feel better. And I was like, that's a lot of the answers. Is just like when I feel bad, they understand me. They're always there for me. They comfort me, which is something I find very common and special.
Yeah, it is very special.
And so I asked what her favorite memory is and together, and she said, our first prom, I fell asleep and he held my head so whenever the car would hit a bump or something, my head wouldn't like hit the car, which I thought was very
That's
sweet.
very care. That's very gentlemanlike, and I think that goes along with the first relationship we talked about in this podcast. That she views him as a gentleman and he views her as very ladylike. And I can totally get that for some people. And I think that's in this case for Gage and Kayla, I think Gage is extremely gentlemanlike.
Yeah, and then we went to the drive-in one time, for the first time, and he made me a picnic and he cut meat and cheese for me.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very sweet of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last question here, it's a short one.
She's just said it was very gradual.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Which I think is a good summary of what the last question could be. It could be immediate, but most of the time it's gradual. And it, like we've seen in a lot of the answers, it's happened over a few months, happened over a few weeks, you know?
Yeah, I think that it depended on how you interpreted the question. Like some people thought about it as like a time, like what time do you think like it was more of a, interpret it as what you think, but I more so wanted to know like was there a special time, a moment where someone was like where you knew um, there was something special to you. That's all. And so
Oh wait, are you done with Kayla? Okay. So I'm gonna actually talk about a funny little so I got a text from our first relationship we talked about in here. All right. And I'm gonna let Ben read it here for a second. But
so
no, don't read it out loud. Just read it to yourself so you can get an idea of what we're talking about, and then we'll discuss it.
was
I think it's very
wait,
funny.
wait. Wow, that is
Yeah, this is okay.
wow.
She said that I don't have to add it in because she's already assuming that we talked about it. but of course we're going to put it in because this is very interesting.
That is
So
so
he
tragic.
talks about the first time that they kissed. Now they chose to remain anonymous, like I said, so we're going to keep it
Yeah.
anonymous. And they were in her basement, and she was so nervous when he went to kiss her, she ended up sticking her tongue out and licked him.
I don't even
And
know.
she said it was so bad because she was so scared and she didn't want to mess it up that but somehow she ended up licking him like an idiot.
That is crazy unfortunate. Like, I don't even, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I was expecting her to like talk about something else or be like, or like thanks for calling or but no, I was not expecting that. Sorry to her boyfriend if she ends up or if she ends up telling him that she said this or not. Maybe he's listening to it and finding out for the first time. But honestly,
Yeah.
I think that's a very cute, funny story to tell.
Um, cute. I don't know, but funny for sure. I guess it just depends on how
Yeah,
you.
maybe it'll be like a story I tell at his wedding. I'll be like,
It'd be funny. It'd be funny. Yeah.
but I think it's like cutesy things like that that make the holiday what it is. Make Valentine's Day what it is. Little moments like that to reminisce upon. Um, did the next person we have here choose to stay anonymous?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then go ahead.
Oh,
I was
so
in the bathroom while he was making this call for part of it, so I think it's only right that Ben
okay,
talks
yeah.
about it.
So I called this person. He gave me some good answers here. So I asked him when he like thought he loved her when he knew it, and or like why? Sorry, why he loves her. She makes me happy, and I truly cannot sit down and not want to give her everything. He said the moment we stop wanting good things for each other is the moment we don't love each other anymore. And he said there's nothing else that brings me joy than seeing her happy, and that is quite wholesome.
Yeah,
That is very wholesome.
yeah. I mean, granted, a lot of these things have been like, oh, but that's like,
That is
wow.
very wholesome.
Yeah.
I asked what his favorite memory was. He said our trip to Chicago. He said that it was about a 14 hours in the car, and it was about 48 days in the city. And he said never once did they run out of things to talk about.
48 days?
That's amazing.
I didn't know this was
Yeah, I knew that they did this. I just didn't know how long it was. I
48
was
days.
gonna say that that sounds like a dream that I wish could do, but I have literally done that for weekends.
Yeah.
Um,
48 days is it's a lot. They say,
oh, sorry, not 48 days, 48 hours. It's
oh,
supposed to be hours.
Ben,
Sorry, so they weren't in the city for
Ben.
48 days. I was wondering why you were so
Appalled by
appalled,
that?
because I was just like, it's just 2 days.
48
Yeah, because I was
days?
just like, it's just 2 days. What is he talking
That's
about? Yeah.
literally more days than Christ spent in the desert. Like, what?
That'd be about like what, a month? No, like a month and like a week.
Yeah.
That's a long
I
time.
was gonna I was going to mention though after this, and I think it's a good thing to mention. A lot of people have the saying, you never, you truly find out who somebody is when you start living with them,
Yeah.
and I think that's very true. Like you could be dating somebody, all of you out there right now, and I'm sure most of our listeners and viewers, they're not living with them currently, right? But I feel like when you do start living with them, you're like, oh, I didn't know they did this, or like I didn't know they sleepwalk. I didn't know they talk in their sleep. I don't know.
I
But
have
like,
a very funny story to tell you after this because
okay,
you mentioned that.
I'll
It's
remind
low
you.
key kind of embarrassing.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll tell you after
Okay.
this. It's really funny.
But
Uh,
yeah, so I think
I
that's
think
true.
that really like driving in a car is something else, especially with someone you
Good
love.
point. Very good
It's
point.
just like a whole another level of just it's something you gotta check off, honestly. And I feel like everyone that has a girlfriend or boyfriend should go do that.
Yeah, spend some time. If you honestly, if you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, because I know a lot of people don't, and they're not huge on it.
Yeah.
Even our first couple that we talked
Oh,
about,
really?
they're not
Really?
huge on Valentine's Day. Which, I was like, I don't know. When I first heard, it, I'm like, oh, like really? But then I think about it, and I'm like, you know what? Ben mentioned this before. He was like, Why should Valentine's Day
Yeah.
be like a day to love somebody extra when you should be doing it all year round? And
Yeah.
I think that's a valid point of why people don't celebrate it.
Yeah, now that I come to think of it, I think it's just a day where just a special day just 'cause, you know. It's
Yeah.
just a day for you to just, love them a little more.
Yeah.
And
But if you
so
don't celebrate, go spend some time in the car together, honestly. Just like, I don't know.
and if you don't have a Valentine, well,
Well, I'm
that's
sorry.
cool. I mean, oh, well,
Well, I'm not sorry.
well, I mean, you can be sorry, but I'm not sorry for you guys. You'll find the time. You'll find the person.
You know, everybody out there that's single, I'm with you. We're in this together.
Yeah, we are.
Wait, I'll do it. The video episode. If you're watching the video episode, I'm gonna do the
Oh,
High School
wow.
Musical dance.
I don't know what to think of this. I cannot believe I'm quite speechless.
Yeah, that was it.
It's
But
muted.
that was it. It was a little bit sloppy, but yeah, that was the High School Musical. We're all in this
No, no, we don't need
together.
to sing it. We don't
Okay,
we
sorry.
don't need. It's okay.
Um, Continue, please.
Anyway, I don't.
You run the third one, yeah.
Yeah, so I asked, kind of when he knew he loved her. He said every day. Now that they're far away, they're long distance because they go to college. He goes, not a day goes by that he doesn't think about how he loves her. He goes, we never really talked, so oh yeah. So he's like, they never really had a talking stage, so they just went straight into dating. And he just goes on to tell, he said eighth grade year of bonfire, and he said something. He was telling her something, and she couldn't hear him, so she put her head on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he said he never felt butterflies like that.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. And then our last,
our last person. I got this. We'll do
I
it
love this
together.
guy. No, you can say it. It's
One
okay.
of our favorite people. One of
He
the
is, yes.
honestly one of the funniest guys you'll probably ever meet. We'll have him on the podcast at some point. And sometimes it's hard to tell when he's being
Serious.
sarcastic or
Yes.
serious. Like
Maybe
you
it's
really
just,
can't
yeah.
tell. 'Cause he always talks like this. He be talking like this all the
His
time.
personality is literally sarcastic.
Yeah, it's literally like
Yeah.
that is none other than Mr. Logan Seebeck. He is currently a senior in high school where we went, and yeah, him and his girlfriend have been together for 4 years.
Uh, 6. Wait.
6?
Well,
Wait,
he
no, it's
he
been
said
4.
seventh grade, so seventh grade, and now he's a senior has to be 6 because it takes you 6 years
No,
to
because I
go.
thought they like waited a little bit.
Well, I don't know if they waited, but I guess it's
Either
4.
way, it's been a long
It's been
time.
many years.
It's been many years. So his answer to the first question is, why do you love her? He said he can't admit it, but she's funny in her personality.
That's so true. I
He's like,
cannot. Yeah.
he can't admit that she's funny.
I wouldn't be able to either.
I maybe it's just a single thing that I don't understand that, but
I don't know. It's just once you tell someone, once you tell your girlfriend that she's funny, it
oh
empowers her to try to say jokes that may not be funny. It's just an ego boosting thing. Just don't do it. It just doesn't work out. Yeah.
yeah, everybody out there, don't tell your significant others that they're funny, or else it
Well, it
could get
like
tragic.
maybe not everyone that has a girlfriend or boyfriend, specifically not my girlfriend or Logan's girlfriend. No, but my girlfriend is quite funny. Just don't tell her I said that because it'll get to her head. I know it will.
Yeah. Next question about memories. His favorite memory is one time they were just gazing under the stars and they were talking together and just looking at the stars, and he said it was just a great time. Which stargazing, do it. It's got to
That's
be on your
very
bucket list.
romantic. Yes.
Very romantic. If you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, go stargazing anyway. I don't know. If you don't have a Valentine, go stargazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's funny.
And you go ahead, say it. You go ahead, say it.
So I asked him when he first found out they like loved each other. He said so apparently he stole his girlfriend from his friend. Now, to clarify, his girlfriend, his now girlfriend, used to like somebody before they started dating, but as soon as Logan and his girlfriend started dating or started talking, she immediately stopped liking the guy and started liking Logan instead, which is really funny. And he said about a month after talking to her, he knew he loved her. Yeah. And that, yeah,
Yeah.
that
And that is all we have.
includes.
But I want to do just a few closing thoughts because I have a few closing thoughts.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so parched.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mhm. Okay. After listening, and I was going to tell you this before we started recording, but I was like, ah, I'll save it for when we
Yeah.
are. I've never like hearing all these stories. I've never felt this way before. Like these people we've talked to tell their stories and
Yeah.
are like, "Yeah, we did this. We danced in the rain. You know, we I knew I loved her in the rain, or we listened to jazz, or stargazing. You know, taking a trip to Chicago." And I think about all those things, and I'm like, it's so movie like to hear about.
Yeah.
And I think about it and I'm like, I have never truly felt like that before, where I'm like, I could talk about something and I'm like, wow, I look back on my experiences in the past and it sounds very planned. And honestly, a
hmm
lot of the times it was. Um, I was a very like planned out kind of person and I would plan a lot of things.
Oh, you
And
would.
I think going into the future, I need to make sure I keep that mindset of just let things happen naturally. Because when they happen naturally, you get amazing stories like we heard today.
Yeah, I mean, you these testament like having these things happen to you is something that's special and you'll never get back. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I've never felt like that. And I think
hmm
just hearing this kind of remind me of like, oh, like, you just need to let things happen naturally. And I think essentially that is the crux of love. And obviously, this isn't an episode about love. That's down the line at some point, an episode on love. But
hmm
essentially, I think the point of love is you just gotta let it happen naturally. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. If it's not meant to be, it won't. And yeah, Ben, do you have any thoughts about what we've heard today?
It's very touching. Uh, I would definitely think about this later to like everyone's testimonies later tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a beautiful thing that two people share. It's special.
yeah,
And it's ushy and gushy and all sappy and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day. When you're listening to this, and maybe you're feeling a little bit sappy from Valentine's Day, and hopefully this contributes to your sappiness. But just remember, if you're a guy, be gentleman. If you're a girl, be ladylike. Go. What do we say? Go somewhere.
Oh, go look at the stars. Go
Go look
watch
at the stars. Go on a drive, and don't lick somebody when they're gonna kiss you.
Yeah, you should take that advice for this
Yeah,
Valentine's Day.
that's honestly probably the biggest piece of advice for this episode. Don't lick people when they go to kiss you.
Eh,
Luckily, I can't say I've had that happen to me. Luckily, but Ben, does that happen to
Mm,
you?
well, no, it's never happened to me.
Well, if you're watching the video episode right now, you're gonna see this.
No,
No, I'm
no,
kidding.
no.
I'm kidding. I'm
That's
kidding.
crazy.
I'm kidding.
So,
Yeah. Ben, do you have any last closing thoughts?
no, shout out to all the single people. You are loved by someone. And if you aren't, someone will find you and
Somebody will
you'll
find you.
let it happen
I
naturally.
might be a hypocrite for saying that, but there are plenty of fish in the sea, even though sometimes I can't believe it myself. Anyways, thank you for listening this week. This episode, although we're filming it late and we're tired and we have much homework to do, it
hmm
was for me at least, maybe not for
No,
you.
it's a good time.
It
Yeah.
was a really fun episode to put together. We don't often put this much work into an episode as we did today. I think the pet peeves was a pretty good effort. Next week you will hear our pet peeves part 3,
The final in the
the
trilogy.
final. Yeah. So Thank you for listening. Go follow us on all our socials at Listen Pondering, including our new YouTube channel. Um, we will be posting all of the video episodes there. We do, and yeah, hopefully you're enjoying the video episodes. I've gotten some feedback. People enjoy it. It's not like terrible
Yeah.
quality, but it's still video. Something to
Yeah.
look at for everybody.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for listening. Keep interacting with us. Tell us what you like, what you just don't like. And yeah, after that, that's it. Thanks for listening. Peace. Oh,
What do I press this
peace.
thing?
Uh, we didn't add it. Click plus,
Plus.
and then click oh, wait.
If
Uh-oh.
you're listening to the audio of this episode, we're trying to currently figure out how to click the fade on our thing, which
Why doesn't why doesn't
oh wait,
this work?
here we go. It's this,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we'll do the outro
Yeah.
again
All
here.
right.
All right.
Wait. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, anyway, okay. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time, next episode. Peace. Thank you. It didn't
It
work.
just didn't work.
Wait, try.
Wait,
Yeah. Okay, now try it. All right. Thanks for listening.
wait,
Peace.
hold on. It's just not working.
Here, let me see
We
it.
do this like yeah, everybody's going along for the ride with us right now.
Why isn't it working? Oh. Oh, wait. Let's delete this. Okay, thanks for listening. And, what? Okay, we're gonna do this. All right, and then I broke your laptop. You know what? Whatever. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, peace.
Peace.